Hello again, Fish-A-Lots. It's Johnny Fish-A-Lot here, joined by you by Little Fish-A-Lot over here, climbing all over me, trying to be the star of the show. But we're going to talk about great gift ideas for your beloved Fish-A-Lots out there for the holidays coming up or any holiday throughout the year. And so let's knock out the first one, of course, and that's a new rod and reel combo. And the first thing I'm going to recommend, and I recommend it in nearly all of my fishing videos in which I'm panfish or ultralight fishing, and that is an Okuma Seamar 1000 series reel matched up with a St. Croix Panfish series fishing rod. This is a 6-foot pole, it's ultralight, and it's absolutely fantastic for catching loads of crappie, bluegill, bass, you name it. It's a great way to really learn the fundamentals of fishing as well. And you know what? If you're going for bigger fish, this is a great way to catch yourself some bait so that you can catch all the fish that eat the bass and crappie and bluegill, like big old catfish that I have a lot of videos out there as well. But this is key. It comes with me on all my trips. I also have this rigged up with 2-pound test line. I always recommend 2-pound test line. You will be amazed at how much more fish will trigger bites on this super low diameter monofilament line. I don't know what Ben is doing behind me, but it seems like he's breaking some kind of computer equipment I need for filming YouTube. But that's all right. Let's talk about ultralight fishing. I don't even know what I was talking about. And so now the St. Croix Panfish series fishing rod is really a great rod, but it'll cost. It'll run you anywhere from $126 to $150, depending where you get it. So there's other options out there, right? There's a Celilo fishing rod. There's Eagle Claw ultralight fishing rod. There's Ugly Stick ultralight fishing rods. It really depends what you want to go for. St. Croix also has other lines of fishing rod that isn't the Panfish series rod that is also designed for ultralight. But my personal favorite of all the rods I tried for this is the Panfish series fishing rod. And again, I'd rather put the money in the rod and not in the fishing reel. So if I get away with a $50 Okuma Seamar 1000 series fishing reel, I'll take that every day of the week and twice on Sundays so that I can put my money into the rod. So that's my recommendation for the ultralight rod and reel combo. But Johnny Fish-A-Lot's got more for you. If your beloved Fish-A-Lot is getting into some offshore fishing or offshore jigging, I tell you what, there is nothing better than a Tsunami series slow pitched jigging rod. This is this guy right here. This absolutely will not break the bank. You talk about high quality fishing rods. Here it is right here for $79 to $89. You can't ask for anything better than this. This is perfect for your striper fishing. This is perfect for flounder fishing, jigging, catfish fishing. I use this rod all the time with just about anything. And it pairs absolutely fantastic with this Quantum Accurus right here. I absolutely love Quantum Accurus. The push button feature of this reel, I got plenty of reel reviews on this rod on my channel, but just the fact that you can enact the drag just by clicking the button, and then when you lift up on the thumb bar, it re-engages the drag. Just makes it so easy for drift fishing, for suspend fishing, for catfish, for jigging, for striper and fluke. I mean, you name it, this reel is really great for it. And again, it doesn't break the bank. Comes in at anywhere from $70 to $80, again, depending where you buy it. You can tell I got this rigged up with a bucktail right here, and I was striper fishing with this exact setup not too long ago. For bang for buck, this is absolutely a great way to go. Another great thing about this is meant for largemouth bass. A Quantum Accurus is originally, oh, Ben's trying to poke me in the face with my fishing rod. Oh, thank you, Ben. Thank you. You're such a good helper. Thanks, bud. Ben's on the floor next to me, by the way. He's moved from my chair to the floor, right next to all the hooks that I'm about to show you. So this should get interesting really quickly. Yeah, I got to keep one eye on him and one eye on the camera. All right, what was I talking about? Now, the great part about the Quantum Accurus is that it really got adopted by saltwater Fish-A-Lots over the years, but it was really meant for largemouth bass. So, you know, you talk about a versatile reel, this is the one to get. If you got a largemouth bass Fish-A-Lot out there that wants themselves a new bait caster, well, you get a Quantum Accurus and tell them, hey, this is also a perfect reel for flounder or fluke or striper fishing or blackfish fishing or whatever type of jigging application you want to use for this. I use this thing for blue catfish all the time in the Potomac River. You name it, I'm fishing with it. So this is an absolute must for sneaking something like this under a Christmas tree this year, or even for a birthday or whatever holiday comes up during the year. That's quantum accurate. Now, if you're partial to spinning gear and spinning tackle, probably the most versatile and easy or friendly reel on your bank account is this guy right here, and this is a Daiwa Fuego. So Daiwa Fuegos is a 3000 series reel. I got it rigged up with 10-pound J-braid, and it just serves so many purposes. Again, I take this striper fishing, I fish with this for bass, I fish with this with crappie, you name it, and I fish with this. It's just a great, versatile fishing reel, and again, doesn't break the bank. This one right here cost me, I think, $80. Again, the prices fluctuate depending where you buy it and when you buy it, but for under $100, this reel is absolutely perfect. Best yet, for under $100, this comes with Daiwa's patented mag seal capabilities, where magnetic oil inside the reel basically protects all the internal parts of the fishing reel from dirt, sand, salt, you name it. You can literally dunk this thing in the water, take it back out, not even hose it off, and it'll work just like the day you opened up from its packaging. A Daiwa Fuego, for me, is a must-have in my fishing arsenal, and I highly recommend it. And all right, so now we got a quick 1-2 out of the way there, right? That's kind of a no-brainer for new fishing rod and reel combo. Let's talk about just fishing gear. You can never go wrong with a pair of deck boots. Okay, I've had these boots forever. You know, it keeps your feet dry. Anything that keeps you dry when you're fishing is a must-have and a great gift. You can never have enough boots in your fishing arsenal. These are just your typical deck boots. They're ankle high. These come a little bit higher. These are closer to my shins or knees. So these are knee-high deck boots. And of course, my personal favorite are these NRS titanium boots right here. These things are absolutely great. I did a couple of reviews on these. You can check them out in the description below on my kayak videos, but I wear these kayak fishing all the time. I wear these on boats all the time. You can tell they're a combination between a shoe and a neoprene boot, and I absolutely love it. They keep you super warm. This combined with some bibs, your feet will never get wet. I'm getting to the bibs, by the way, but your feet will never get wet. There's two types. This one is the ankle type. They also make another series that, again, comes up higher on your shin. You're going to spend a little more money for that one, but these boots are totally worth it. And I recommend these for any fish a lot out there. Deck boots. And all right, along the exact same lines of deck boots, keeping your feet both dry and warm, I would recommend foul weather gear for any holiday gift that you seem to be in the market for. And look, the first one that you're going to come across whenever you Google something like this are these neoprene jackets right here. Now, these things are really great and they're really warm, and of course, they keep you dry, but they can be very expensive. So if you get online and you look up the classic Stormer jackets, right, that's typically the brand that everybody's going to get. It's Storm with an R at the end of it. But the problem with these type of jackets is they cost you like $360, $400 just for a neoprene jacket. That's not even including the bibs. Now, this is a super cheap version I got. It works great. I will tell you, it does get extremely warm and just pure full neoprene. So I don't typically wear these unless it's really cold out. And so what I recommend to everyone is just pure old-fashioned Grundens. That's right, these things don't break the bank. They're super warm, they keep you dry, they scream commercial fishing. It's what I owned and what I used this exact pair. As a matter of fact, when I worked professionally on fishing boats for over 8 years, these things could take a beating, and they're meant to take a beating because it's what the commercial fishing industry wears. So these are the bibs. They cost you about $99. Won't hurt you too bad at all. Nothing like those $361 Stormer jackets or bibs. So these are great. I recommend getting the bibs first. Then, of course, I recommend getting the jacket. So this way you're covered from head to toe. Now, something else I recommend is, you can tell this is green, this is dark, this is heavy. These are my winter pair of Grundens. And then, of course, I have my summer pair of Grundens, which are these white guys right here. So these are the bibs. I have the jacket as well with this. Now, you notice these are supposed to be white. But again, I use these on commercial fishing boats, and they're kind of fish gut stained, yellowish, orangish, I don't know. But these things have been through absolute battle with me, and they're absolutely Fantastic. So the white pairs are much thinner. I wear these in the summertime, which is absolutely ideal for when you're flounder fishing, you're filleting fish, sea bass fishing, any warm weather type of fish where you need to be relatively clean and also warm and dry. It's this. For the winter time, I use the heavier green pair, and I absolutely love Grundens. All right, now I'll give you a bonus tip right here and something that I really recommend, and that is fishing bibs. So these are, again, NRS fishing bibs. Kayakers use this all the time. You see me on my fishing videos wearing these bibs all the time, and the great part about it are these boots right here. So this is fully encapsulating bib. They do run a little bit of money. I got these on sale from NRS. Each year, take a look at NRS end of the year sales, especially in the spring when they're offloading their winter gear. I got this 50% off. I'm always in my bibs, and this pairs perfectly with my NRS boots that I just described a little bit earlier. So in addition to the Grundens, if you really want to get into it and really spoil your beloved fish a lot this holiday season, go out and get them a pair of NRS bibs as well. A link to everything I'm describing here is going to be in the description below, and you can also check out a list of everything I use on this channel at johnnyfishalot.com, where I actually have it prioritized per different fish species. So if you know your beloved fish a lot, loves largemouth bass fishing or carp fishing, catfish fishing, inshore saltwater fishing, I got you all covered there. Go ahead and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. And all right, so if you're getting into some offshore fishing, some of those big tuna, swordfish, you know, the fish that can eat you sort of things, a fish that I personally absolutely love fishing for, forget your rods, forget your reels, lures, whatever. What you first need to get is a bed. These trips are early morning trips. I never actually go to sleep. The boat usually leaves the dock at 12 a.m. And that's where this guy comes into play. This is a Sea Rider teardrop beanbag chair. And this is basically a bed for offshore fishing. Now, what I recommend, don't get the round one because you need support for your head. You need to get the teardrop Sea Rider beanbag chair. Now, the reason why Sea Rider is so great is because it's made for the ocean offshore environment. When you bring it home, you get all sweaty, bloody, whatever. You just hose it off, hit it with a little bit of soap and water, not much. Actually, the hose works just fine too. And you hang it up, dry it, ready to go for your next offshore trip. But if you don't have it, you could have a miserable trip out there because you're literally going to get no rest and no sleep for 16 to 24 hours. And you just need something to put your head on when you're on the deck of a fishing boat for more than 16 hours. And that's where your Sea Rider offshore teardrop fishing chair comes into play. And all right, let's talk a must-have for most type of fishing, especially from the shore or on the bank, and that is rod holders. Now, of course, you could always go with your stereotypical rod holder. This is just a piece of plastic. You wedge it into the sand on the beach or wherever you might be fishing, and you put the rod in here. So easy enough gift and super cheap. However, if you really want to get into it, I recommend what's called a bank stick. So this is just a stick. The pointy end goes into the mud or the bank where you're fishing. And then they usually come with a lot of different attachments. So this one I use for carp fishing. I just simply attach the bank stick to this tripod right here. And then I can put my bait alarms or my fish holders right on here. And so here's a quick example. I have a bait alarm for carp fishing, right? I just take it, I screw it in, and there you go. I'm ready to fish for carp with a bait alarm. It's just that easy. You stick it right in the mud, and then you have your attachments. These things are just so adaptable to your fishing needs. I'd really recommend it. And again, it does not break the bank. Now, bank sticks are awesome, and they're super versatile, no doubt about it. But if you really want to spoil that fish a lot in your life, go ahead and get them a rod pod just like this. Johnny Fish a Lot spoiled himself this year, and I bought this well before Christmas, and it's absolutely great. I can't wait to use it. I have used a multitude of rod pods before. I haven't used this one, of course. This is the Grand Sniper Standard Pod. You know, once I start using it and figure it out, I'll do a review on it on the channel. But I'll use a link in the description below for all the rod pods that I'd recommend for all you guys out there. This is really great. Look, you can use it on the beach. It's not only for carp. A lot of carp fishermen fish with these, but I've used this for catfish. Of course, I've used it for carp. Basically, anywhere where you want a multiple rod setup close together, this is kind of your answer right here. I absolutely love these things and highly recommend them. And all right, so I got you covered for bank fishing, or if you want to fish from the shore. But what about fishing from a kayak? I got plenty of videos out there where I'm having a ball catching fish on my kayak, and I absolutely love these type of rod holders right here for that type of fishing, and that is Stealth rod holders. What I'm holding in my hands right here is a QR2. This is the larger version. You could also get a QR1, and that is a smaller version. But these rod holders right here, the Stealth rod holders, absolutely perfect. You have Scotty rod holders as well, but I really love these because it comes with a self-locking mechanism right here. When you put the rod in, it locks around the rod and you never have to worry about it. It also comes with an additional strap right here. I've never used it. I've never had to. It's just so easy. When you pick the rod up, it comes right out of the rod holder. It's super secure. This is made of super tough plastic, and I've caught some really big fish using these rod holders right there. I absolutely love it. Now, the QR2, this is the heavier version that I have in front of me. That's the one I would recommend because this actually does fit smaller rods in this really, really well. It's surprising, actually, how much this clamp really wraps around the rod. Now, the smaller version would limit you if you're using bigger rods. So I would just go with the larger version, fits every rod in it. And the larger version will cost about $39.99. If you do want to get the smaller version, that'll come in about $29.99. Doesn't break the bank, and it's a perfect accessory for kayak fish-a-lots out there everywhere. So keep this one in mind. Again, this is the Stealth QR2 rod holder. Now, if you're in the market for other rod holders, of course, Yak Attack has a lot of good ones. I fish with these. This is the Omega rod holder. It comes with a locking mechanism itself right here on the top. So you put the rod in, you lock it in place. When you catch a fish, you unlock it and pick out the rod. Yak Attack is super easy, adjustable rod holders. You just simply click this up. It fits right out of the gear track. You put it back on, click it down tight, and that rod holder and your rod is not going anywhere. So Yak Attack makes some pretty good products too. This is an older version, so this comes in at about $29.99 as well. And then, of course, Yak Attack makes some heavy-duty rod holders, just like this guy right here. This is an AR tube. This is meant for, like, heavy trolling. I have a Old Town 136 autopilot, so I do actually troll for some fish as well. Same features, easily adjustable on your gear track, but this is a really hard piece of plastic, and it comes with a butt handle right here. So if you are using a bigger rod, it'll actually secure the butt right in this groove right here. So it's actually another really nice feature. Again, my favorite is the Stealth rod holders, but there's plenty of rod holders out there if you're in the market looking for something like this. Scotty, of course, makes the Scotty rod holders, really good rod holders as well. But that'll cover you from both the bank and now in your kayaks if you're into kayak fishing, and even boats. You can even put these on your boats as well. Now, sticking with kayaks, I can't recommend this next item enough, and that is a Stick It anchor pin. Now, I have the Super Stick anchor pin and the kit, okay, but I went with the 8-foot version. I can tell you it's not long enough. So there's a lot of great features out there, a lot of great Stick It pins. It's just a shallow water pole that you put through your kayak or you tie to your kayak or boat, and it just keeps you anchored right there in place. It's super stealthy. You don't spook fish. It's not like throwing an anchor overboard, and it's an absolutely must-buy for any kayak fisherman out there because, you know, that's the whole point of a kayak, right? They're like super stealthy, way more stealthy than a boat. But even if you're in a flat-bottom boat, I can't recommend these enough. Now, what I would recommend, I have the Super Stick, and it comes with a 2-piece attachment for a 12-foot Stick It pin. That is absolutely what I get. 2 pieces because it's an absolute pain if you're carrying something that's 12 feet in your car. So that 2-piece is absolutely perfect. Comes in about $130, something like that. It's absolutely affordable, and it's absolutely a great gift idea for any fish lot out there looking to get into kayak fishing. Now, Yak Attack has a version of this as well, a 12-foot pin. The problem with the Yak Attack is that it gets a little pricey. So you're going to have to buy the Stick It pin and the Stick It pin kit. And then, of course, you're going to have to buy the extension that makes it 12 feet, and that extension is an additional $40 or $50. So with the Stick It pin, you're looking at $130, same as the 12-foot version of the Super Stick. And then, of course, you know, you're going to have to buy the extensions. It's going to cost you a little bit more. Now, they are made of different materials. I have used both. I haven't seen a big difference in the materials holding my kayak in place better than the other. So I would recommend the more affordable of the options. Now, what would any good gift video for fishing equipment be without a good old-fashioned tackle box? So you can't go wrong with Plano tackle boxes. I absolutely love these for the simple reason that these have the clip-ins. I don't ever buy anything with zippers anymore. I have a video on this, on the best tackle boxes that you could personally buy. And quite frankly, I always land on these Plano boxes with these clip-ins because I don't have to worry about the salt water rusting out the zippers and I can never get in them. Now, if you really want to get carried away, you have your tackle box right here. This is totally waterproof. Again, link in the descriptions below. But if you want to get crazy, fill them up with fishing gear. That's what I would do if I were shopping for my beloved fish-a-lots. So you got all sorts of lures in here. What I would really recommend for this type of tackle box, though, are these Plano waterproof 423 tackle trays right here. I absolutely love these as well. You can literally drop this in a water full of your gear and no water is going to infiltrate your lures, rusting everything out. Then you're going to have to buy everything all over again. So that'd be my recommendation for tackle boxes and tackle trays if you want to fill one of these up with lures. Well, we're getting to that here in a minute. And next up is going to be your landing nets. So this is a critical piece of the equation right here, right? Because it's how you're going to actually get the fish in the boat or get the fish to the bank, depending where you're fishing. And there's a lot of different models and versions of the nets. What I would recommend to you, though, is to pick any version that has rubber as the mesh and to get meshing and rubber meshing as small in diameter with these nets as possible. What happens is this damages the fish's fins. It ends up removing some of the protective slime, and you don't want to injure the fish, especially if you're doing catch and release. Now, if you're not doing catch and release, I would still recommend these versions of nets because this small diameter mesh makes this tangle proof. So if you're fishing for fluke, right, you got a high-low rig or a bucktail rig, a lot of hooks on, you net that fish. You don't want to be fiddling around with it as it's caught in the net, and then you have to untangle all your rigging from your net. A net like this will make it so easy. You get your fish out, put it in the box, and then you get your rig out and you're right back to fishing. If you could save yourself some time fishing, you increase your odds of catching more fish. So these type of nets are absolutely essential. Yak Attack has a great net called the Leverage Yak Attack Landing Net. That is absolutely perfect. It actually comes up here on your forearm and you really put a lot of power behind netting fish. Last but not least, let's talk about fishing line, lures, and terminal tackle. You can't go wrong with this stuff if you're in the market for some gifts for that beloved fish-a-lot in your life. And first, let's start with just the basics, right? You can never go wrong with just a pile of bucktails. Bucktails are just one of the most versatile lures that you could possibly fish with, and everyone I know actually fishes with bucktails. So these are absolutely great lures. They're great for flounder. They're great for striper. I catch plenty of bass off these. I don't know what everybody fishes for. I fish for just about everything that swims in any weather environment. So another good choice is just your soft plastic baits, weedless hooks, and jig heads. What I would do is I would start off with a 1/4 ounce jig head and work your way up or down from there, depending on the fish that your beloved fish-a-lot is going to be after. A 1/4 ounce jig head, though, is perfect beginning point. It will fish you anywhere from 2 to 8 feet, depending on current and the way you're retrieving it. So just start with a 1/4 ounce jig head or a 1/4 ounce weedless hook and then get soft plastics from there. Now you could absolutely go crazy with the amount of fishing lures out there, right? So when it comes to soft plastics, do yourself a favor and get a size range that is very versatile for your fish-a-lot out there. I would say anywhere from 3 inches to 6 inches is a great range that can catch most inshore fish. Things like Z-Man, these packs right here, absolutely great. This is, I think, 6 inches right here. I got 3 inches in different colors. And typically speaking with colors, don't go crazy either. Generally what you should do is you should pick a light color, a dark color, and something that stands out that's going to give a lot of flash, something like nuclear chicken or bright red, pink, those type of colors. So chartreuse is going to be a dark color. So that's what this is right here. And again, different sizes for different fish. These are bustum baits for striped bass. Take a look at those baits right there. These are pretty big. These are 6 and 7 inch baits. And I go up as far as 10-inch baits for striped bass when it comes to soft plastics. But again, I have dark colors, I have light colors, and I got something flashy that sticks out. And that's a great rule of thumb for just about any fishing lures that you're going to be buying out there. So again, don't go crazy with packs and packs of bait. Okay, these will do. You just got to get the correct size of the type of fish and the prey that they're after. So again, if I'm fishing for flounder, okay, I'm going gulp. So if you know somebody that loves flounder fishing, you got to go straight over to gulp and just get these tubs of gulp. Again, same idea though. If they're inshore fishing, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches, and if they're going offshore fishing, 5 to 6 inches is a good range of gulp baits to get. I love the Nemesis baits. I also love the grubs and twisty tails. It's just anything that gives that lure a little bit of action is what my preferred bait is for flounder. But these gulp baits also work incredibly well for bass and for panfish. So if you're fishing for smaller fish, you could use something like a 3 to 5 inch bait on lakes and ponds and catch just a ton of fish with gulp. For panfish, I have a ton of videos out there with 1 inch gulp minnows. That's what I would recommend for panfish and crappie. And then of course crappie, I absolutely love crappie magnets, which is a must buy for anybody looking to catch themselves some crappie. Again, I don't know all the types of fish that you're after, but bucktails, soft plastics with these types of jig heads, I always go with wide gap jig heads, but you can't go wrong with jig heads, weedless hooks, soft plastics, and weights. If you know you fish a lot of fishes with a lot of bait, offer a wide variety of circle hooks and different weights and fishing line, of course, the basics for making your rigs. I got a ton of videos on my channel, Fishing with Johnny Fish a Lot, on how to make the best rig for the fish you're after. And I also got a free masterclass of exactly what rigs and what knots you should use for every fishing application that you could find out there. So feel free to check out that masterclass and all the other free videos that I have guiding you on what kind of rigs and line and lures and hooks that you need to catch your fish. Now, some of my favorite lines that I love are these high vis lines, okay? This high vis isn't for the fish. The fish don't care, especially inshore fish, don't really care about this color, but I do because I can't see it otherwise. And in those very finicky bikes, I want to be able to see that line. I see that line tick, I know I got a fish. It helps me dramatically catch fish. Typically for my size line, I usually go with a 10-pound braid for a lot of inshore fishing applications, and my preferred line is J-braid. I got 10-pound J-braid on mostly all of my reels, and the great thing about J-braid is it comes with these scissors as well. So it comes with a free pair of scissors with every pack of J-braid you get. So there's a bonus feature right there if you're picking your fish a lot out there, some line. And when it comes to monofilament, all I like is good old-fashioned Andy's monofilament line. It's super cheap, super affordable, and more trophy fish have been caught on Andy's simple old monofilament line than any other line out there. So for my main line for inshore fish, I typically go with 10 pounds, and for my monofilament, my leader materials, I typically go with 20 pounds to 30 pounds, depending on what I'm fishing for. And all right, as a bonus tip, I just can't stop giving you some tips here, Fish-A-Lots, to help you in your new year catch as many fish as you possibly can. If you're really in a bind, right, all these suggestions, you're like, well, you know what? I really don't know what kind of lure to get my Fish-A-Lot. Don't worry about it. What I'd recommend is just getting them a fillet kit and a bait kit. So take a look at this. These things are super easy. They just come in these little briefcases here, and you got your cutting table right here, you got your bait knife, you got a fillet knife, and you got a pair of scissors right here. I don't know anybody who goes fishing without a good pair of bait scissors, especially for blackfish or if you're fishing for crab or any type of bait really. These things are fantastic. Of course, you got your bait knife right here, awesome for cutting bait. A fillet knife, hey, if you're going to be a fish-a-lot, you got to know how to fillet your own fish. Now, these are great tips for overall fishing gifts, but take a look at this end card right here where I share even more great tips on how you could jam a Christmas stocking full of awesome lures, line, and terminal tackle that every fish-a-lot needs out there. So go ahead, check it out, and I'll see you guys out there on the water.